Oh, yeah. This is Seasonal Talk, and I am your host, Thabreakmaster. We are here today to talk all things anime from this week and from last week because your boy was sick, so I missed last week. So therefore, we're just going to double up and talk about last week's episodes and this week's episodes here today. And if you see the goddamn title of the stream, Tsuderes are trash and so is Code Geass, that is the hot take for this week that we're going to be discussing here. Kind of like a two-parter thing, right? I already talked a little bit about the whole Code Geass thing over on my Twitch channel, and I thought, you know what? I feel like it's spicy enough to get people mad to come in here and be like, how dare you? Code Geass is 10 out of 10. But hear me out first. Hear me out first before you click the dislike button. Before you click the dislike button, please hear me out when it comes to the hot take. But before we go into the hot take, we got to talk about all things anime, talk about this week that we got here. Because we have a lot of anime. We got a lot to talk about. There's a lot going on here. And let's go ahead and open this up, open the floodgates with the show that I've been thinking about skipping, about dropping for the longest time, but we are still here. We are still here with this show, and that is Spy X Family. Spy X Family. How's it going? It's going good. Avatar, welcome in. We're just starting. We're just getting started, so I appreciate you dropping by. Hopefully you enjoy the show that we have for you guys here today, and we're going to discuss all things anime. Like I said, we're going to be discussing this, and do I still hate this show? That's the question that we have to ask ourselves this. Does the Thabreakmaster still dislike Spy X Family? And the answer to that question for the last, for those two episodes, I have to admit something here. Having Fiona actually jump in on here, this new character has kind of gave me a new lease on life with this show. Her character has kind of single-handedly made me enjoy this season a bit more. And with this week and last week's episode, which are pretty much the same thing, they're conjoined together because it's all about tennis. So Fiona and Lloyd have a whole mission that they have to do in order to get this specific painting by winning this tennis tournament, basically. And it's a whole thing. It's a whole goddamn thing. It was fun to watch. It's fun to see Fiona just like try to get that admiration, that love from Lloyd, because she cannot handle the fact that Yor is the wife on this mission, because she just thinks she can't do it. She can't handle it. She ain't good enough. She ain't doing what she needs to do to make Anya the greatest that she could be. That's what's going on, right? So she said, you don't like all that. So she's trying to step in, find a way. And it's even working too, because Yor, in the back of her mind, is like, man, maybe I'm just not fit. Maybe I'm just not good enough. Maybe Fiona, what's going on with their relationship? What's going on with them? What is happening? Making that doubt have in there. But she actually cares. She actually has that loving spirit right there. And Anya hears all this. Anya's seeing it all. And Anya's like, you got to calm down. Look, you the best mom. We ain't going to let that girl take over your spot. All right? That's not happening. So, needless to say, there are beasts when it comes to playing tennis. Just like I said, he never played tennis before, but then all of a sudden, he out here just killing everybody. We had dudes taking steroids. You know what I'm saying? We had dudes that was like small, but then they were gigantic at one point. Destroyed them, destroyed everybody, destroyed the whole competition, destroyed the family that runs the place. Even because there was a family at the end on the last episode. It's like, nah, they weren't good enough either. Even with all the cheap trickery that they were doing, it wasn't good enough. They were still finding a way to get past all that bull crap. And like I said, a lot of that stuff was just fun. I love watching tennis, like tennis matches in general. Animation was actually on point when it comes to this. And like I said, Fiona's character, like you're telling me, Avatar, she's a lot of fun. She's hell of a fun. I really enjoy her character. One of the more standout moments, ultimately, when it comes to this from this week's episode, after they got done with the mission, right? She was like, I got to challenge Yor to see whether or not she's good enough to actually, be a part of this mission, to hold it down. Can she play tennis too? Kind of find out. She's so powerful that she swings. The freaking tennis ball ends up turning to Swiss cheese. And Fiona's sitting there like, what? What happened? What's going on? Also, welcome in, Anna. How you doing? But yeah, she's like, what's going on there? She's like, okay, I gotta do less power. I'm swinging a little too hard, and so she got the right type of touch, and she smacked that ball so hard, like Fiona was trying her best. Her best just wasn't good enough to be able to swing back, and she just could not bring it back. And therefore, she lost the fight. And she had to run with her tail between her legs because she's like, I'm not good enough. She's actually better than me. So she went to the mountains and started training. I was like, bro. Fiona went to the mountains and started training. Like I said, I enjoyed this two-parter episode with the tennis and everything and them getting the goddamn painting. The painting, it was dumb because, like, it was just a love story type of thing. It was nothing like of seriousness that's like it's gonna like change or give the West some type of plans. You know what I'm saying? It was nothing like that. It was bootleg. Of course it was bootleg though. You expected something to be serious happening here? Nah, because Spy X Family is not a serious show. All right, there it is. Then I was trying to see how me laughing. Yeah, exactly. That kind of got me. I was like, all right. Yeah, you got me. You got me chuckling over here because, like, like I said, this is why I was enjoying it. Like, Fiona's character in general is something I thoroughly enjoy, and it's weird because I know that at one point I'm gonna probably get used to her too. So I'm just curious how they're gonna keep this going fresh. But I still want to see more Fiona. I do want to see this character. I want to see more of this character. She's fun. She brings a different type of life to it. She makes it to where Yor has to really think about and be on her game as a wife. You know what I mean? Even though this is like a whole play thing, at the end of the day, she wants to be good. She wants to be good, so she has to be on her toes. So I like what I'm seeing. I'm liking what I'm seeing, but we're almost done with this season, it looks like. So I'm just curious to what the last couple episodes are even going to be about. It just seems like, this season, more or less, isn't really all that serious. There's just a lot of just gag stuff going on more so than anything else. Like, we're not really there's no real progression of the actual story going within this season. There's only been like one thing, and that was with the dog. You know what I mean? So outside of that, it's just like everything else is more playful than anything else. I mean, Fiona's is a nice little touch, but you know what I mean? It's just like, it's not really, there's no stakes really involved right now at this point. And I find it kind of interesting that we went down this route for this specific season, for season 2. So, I don't know. I enjoyed these 2 episodes though. I had fun with them. I'm not hating on it like I normally do, all right? I just realized that I am behind. You need to watch the show. Anna, you need to watch the show. Maybe. Well, do you like Spy X Family? That's the real question. How much do you like when it comes to Spy X Family? Like, did you watch the first season and say, yeah, this is some good stuff? Because you could probably like this, but this season's, like I said again, is one of those ones where it's like there's not a lot actually going on story-wise. We're just having a lot of just character moments and just funny gag moments more so than anything else. We're not even really developing characters necessarily outside of Fiona actually at this point, right? Like, I wish there was an episode with freaking Bond. I need an episode with Bond. I need an episode with Bond. I need one of those episodes like Avatar: Last Airbender, or they had freaking their animals just have a whole episode. You know what I mean? They're whole animals. There was no talking, nothing. You know what I'm saying? But I need an episode like that. Bond needs characterization as well. This dog is a character. We need that happening. By an episode or 2? Oh, maybe 3. Okay, you're not too bad. Okay, you're not too bad then. So, I love it. Okay, then get in there. What are you doing? But overall, for both these episodes, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. A 7 out of 10. Very solid episodes for last week and this week because they're kind of together. So this honestly, this is one of the good things about this is the fact that a lot of these episodes are 2-parters, so I don't have to remember like every little its and bits and pieces of each episode because they're pretty much 2-part episodes. So it's like it really makes it easier for me to remember everything that happened throughout the last 2 weeks. You know what I mean? When the team between Fiona and Yuri to try to break Love Lloyd and yeah. I love that. That would be interesting. That would be very interesting. That would be super interesting too, given the fact that Fiona, obviously, is an agent and everything, and you got the whole thing. That's all. It's another dynamic that bro. I wish in some cases, though, it'd be kind of weird if they did that, and then all of a sudden she wants to actually be with Lloyd. But it's like I wish they would say like they're like brother and sister or something like that, because then they could have done something more with that type of interaction. You know what I mean? That would have been interesting. Is that Max I'm seeing over here? Oh no, Caesar! Welcome in, sir. Welcome. How you doing? How you doing? With that said, I get both episodes 7 out of 10. Let's move on to the next anime, which is Mob Psycho 100. All right. In some cases, I was a little confused watching these last two episodes, because it's like Shigeo got isekai'd, basically. He got hit by a car, and it was confusing me why he got hit by the car, right? This dude saved a cat first with his psychic powers, and then a green light happened. Kid walks in the street. Sucker ain't stopping. My question was, why didn't Shigeo just take the kid like he did the cat and just move the kid out the way? Like, I'm actually confused why he didn't just do that instead of stepping out into the street and getting hit by a car. Like, what? That's my honest to God question I have for this Mob Psycho right here at this point right now. Why did he get hit by this car? It doesn't make any sense. There's so many different instances where he could have just used his ability to not let that happen, but he let it happen, and therefore now this man has unleashed his uncontrolled ability out onto the world. Everybody's getting bodied. Literally everybody, all the suckers that were strong in the show, everybody's getting mopped. He's getting mopped to the floor. Like, they getting bopped up, bro. It's like, what is going on here? It's crazy because we had the dude in last season that was like super strong, the boss, and Shigeo had to fight him, and they were having a whole massive battle. This week's episode, that battle, it was like it's a one-sided affair. Psycho couldn't even do anything. And I sat there thinking, okay, we're gonna have another like really massive battle happening. Nope. Psycho just got bodied. That's like, bro, everyone is getting bodied. Everyone that you knew that has psychic abilities, they're all getting bodied. No one's surviving out here. Freaking his friend, the dude with the blonde hair, can't remember his name at the moment. He did the best he could. He was the best one out of all of them. But this man got straight up butt naked, lost all his hair. He did the best he could to try to save as many people as he can. But God, he got bodied, bro. He got bodied. He was not prepared. This Shigeo, this demon form of him, was just whooping him. Just give him the fisticuffs. It's like, bro, it was disgusting. Freaking Shigeo's little brother came by, saw that man butt naked on the ground. I was like, this man is freaking thick. Well, it's like, why is he thick with 3 C's? I was like, it was bad. It was bad. it was bad. But what's really interesting of this week's episode is that Shigeo's younger brother, he had an unlockability. He was able to go into this like 100% stress mode himself, and he was actually able to use like incredible power all of a sudden. It was surprising. I was like, okay, so this man actually has abilities after all that's actually freaking OP too. Still wasn't enough. He's like, it still wasn't enough to stop this sucker. He's like, how do you supposed to stop him? At this point, how you supposed to stop him? The body improvement club? Nah, sucker, they got body too. It's just like oh, I can't. It's insane. It's insane what's going on here. Hanazawa kept taking L's. Yeah, all he does is take L's. Hanazawa, all he does is take L's. He's a walking L at this point, man. Yeah, the boss rematch is a little disappointing. Yeah, I expected that boss rematch to be a bit better, because I was like, all right, this guy is powerful as heck. So how the heck did he get bodied so easily? It's like, bro, come on now. You good? Just vibing. I appreciate you being here, Max. Appreciate you with the vibe, my guy. We out here talking about Mob Psycho right now, being upset, all right? It's going to end with Lloyd and yours staying together but not being in love. I mean, obviously, that's probably more or less the case when it comes to Spy X Family, but we're talking about Mob Psycho right now. And I heard of this one. You should watch, Anna. If you haven't watched Mob Psycho, you should start watching. This is your sign. This is your calling card to start watching Mob Psycho 100, because this is a show that it's great when it comes to its character pieces and its characterization for the characters. Shigeo as a character in general is amazing to see his growth and how he's come up. In this last season, this season here has been just like that mature level that you're seeing that he is right now. Granted, what's going on at the moment, which again, he's like lost control of his ability. So at the end of the episode, what we're kind of having at this point now is that this other person, this other version of Shigeo, of Mob, basically, right, is gonna take over, is trying to take over, is what's going on here. They're both Mob, they're both Shigeo. But this one's like, no, I want to live free. I want my powers to be untapped, because what's going on right now is the fact that once he got hit by that car, it pretty much unlocked all those suppressed emotions and those feelings. All that stuff he suppressed, it all came out all at one time, and it manifested and made this This is what at least the younger brother is saying anyways. So that's the best example we have here. And so this thing now is trying to take over Shigeo's place. So is Shigeo going to be able to find a way to actually get this thing to calm down? Is it possible to even have that happen? Because, like, with everything that's going on, I don't know. His teacher is coming over there, but what can he do? He has no abilities. So, like, yeah, he gonna talk to him, but the thing ain't listening. All it cares about them flowers, because that job right now, his one main job is trying to do is meet up with that girl that Mob was trying to meet. That's the main thing he's trying to do right now. Granted, once it meets up with her, what's it gonna do? Kill her too? Like, I don't understand. Like what? I understand having that goal, but this goal is dangerous. So I don't know. I don't know. It's just really odd to me of how we got to this point, but it's interesting nonetheless. I am enjoying it. I just wish that we could have had a different way of getting to this point. You know what I'm saying? Maybe getting that breakup to happen actually, or her like denying him, would have been something for this specific moment to happen. Because I don't think she likes Shigeo like that, right? I don't think so. I mean, they seem to have a decent relationship. I'll say that much. But I don't think she actually likes him like that, right? But who really knows? Maybe we're gonna find out in this next episode that actually she wants some Shigeo. She wants that Mob. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? Who knows? I'm not ready for it to end. Same. I'm not ready for it to end either. This season has been something else. I've enjoyed every episode of this show so far, and it's Mob Psycho, not Cycle, Mob Psycho. You know, you probably heard the next week's the last episode. Oh, wait, next week's the last episode. Oh, I didn't hear. Oh no, I'm really not ready. What? I am not prepared. I didn't know it to be the last episode. God dang it. All right, well, it's been fun. It has been fun. We are getting to the tail end of this season anyways, of all these shows ending. So it's everything has to come to an end. Everything has to come to an end. So I'm looking forward to the last episode then. I'm curious what's going to happen then. I'm very curious what's about to happen here. Mob Psycho, yes. Easily give both these episodes probably like an 8 out of 10. I give both these episodes an 8 out of 10. I thoroughly enjoyed them. They're fun. They're good stuff here. And it's high stakes at the moment. I really didn't know this season was gonna go this route, but I'm shocked. Again, this is some really good writing. I didn't see this coming, and I'm impressed with it. It's the last ever episode. Look, man, there could be more. Don't tell me that, man. Don't tell me that, Avatar. Don't tell me that. Oh, come on. Again, Anna, this is your calling card to watch Mob Psycho. If you haven't watched Mob Psycho yet, go and watch season 1. You should enjoy it. You should enjoy it, Anna. You should enjoy it. Come back here and tell me about it, all right? I just want you to know. Let's move on to Bleach, 1,000-Year Blood War. So this is about to be interesting because I have an opinion here when it comes to this show now at this point, because I'm not hating it, right? I'm enjoying Bleach, but I have some issues with what's going on and how they're doing this now. I see what the problem is, and I'm not liking what they're doing necessarily. Someone actually said this in a different video that I was watching, and they're exactly right on this. Bleach. I swear I closed my door, but how you doing, sir? What? God dang, Bam Bam comes in again. It's just... Why do you do this? I swear I closed my door, so how'd I get in here? Back guy, he threw me off. He threw me all the way off. And now he's barking. I can't. At least we're getting One Punch Man Season 3 to fill the void of Mob, which is true. But will it be as good? I don't know. I mean, because One Punch Man is good. One Punch Man is a good show, but it's not Mob Psycho. Mob Psycho 100 is actually a better show than One Punch Man. I have to admit that. Even though I love One Punch Man, I have to admit that Mob Psycho was just much better and it's better written. Bam Bam. And he left. He didn't want to be here no more. I don't know what he was trying to do, but he was gone now. He was gone. I guess I can binge it next week, and there it is. As a Kentucky fan, this episode was great. And that's the thing. Let me try to break it down. Because there's a lot that kind of went on here. But like I was saying, there's a video I watched where they pretty much explained why the pacing the way it is. And if you really think about it, if you've read the manga, right? There's a lot of stuff they're skipping at the moment. There's a lot of stuff they're skipping at the moment, and a lot of that stuff is a lot of comical things. The weird thing about it, and this is something that kind of was like interesting about this arc, once we got done with a U-Haul box situation in the Stern Raiders and them mopping the floor with Soul Society, we got a lot of comical moments right after that fact, because we went to the Soul King and the Zero Division. All their characters, all the Zero Division have this comical bullcrap bootleg thing going on with them, basically. That's what it is. They all have a little shtick to them. And what's weird about what I'm not liking about it is the fact that we're skipping through a lot of that characterization for the characters. There's a lot of characterization that we're missing with the Zero Division. The Zero Division, this is their moment. This is their time to shine. This is when we get to know who these characters are. And it's like this anime is kind of dropping the ball when it comes to actually getting to understand their characters and understanding even what's going on. Everything's going so fast, and we're jumping through so many different areas through the Zero Division, quarters and stuff. It's just like we're not even able to digest of what's actually happening and what's going on with these characters. How can you have an actual relationship, a connection with them, when it's like we're just jumping through the phases right at this point? We're not really caring about who they are. And that's what sucks about it. Unless Bleach is going to do something where they're going to fill that void and give us more characterization for these characters, it's going to suck for later on with the Zero Division, because we don't get a lot of stuff with them. You know what I mean? It's weird. It's really weird. Without spoiling anything, there's not enough within the manga anyways to give us that purpose with them, to actually even understand them. Nemaya honestly probably had the best introduction when it comes to the Zero Divisions and their characters. He probably has the best one so far when it comes to at least this week's episode, because they did a pretty good job. They didn't really do that good of a job with the heavyset chick. Like, she was big, but then she was not big anymore, but she was still big in certain areas, if you know what I mean. I can't remember her name at the moment, but that's what I'm saying. Look, I don't even remember their names like that, because they're going so fast. Nemaya leaves an impression because he's just a bootleg character, and they decided and actually left some of the gag that was there for his character, which is good. So I don't know. That is what's throwing me off when it comes to it. He said, rude. Look, I didn't do nothing. And the pacing does feel a bit odd. I have not read the manga, but I can still tell something's missing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, even as like an anime watcher, I'm pretty sure you can tell the pacing is kind of weird right now, because we're just kind of jumping through a lot of the phases, even with the Kenpachi fight, right? Part of me wished one of the things they could have done. Hello again, Bam Bam. Come here. They want to see you. Why are you dancing, bro? They want to see you. Come here. Bam Bam. What are you doing? I don't know what's going on with him. All right, he's coming in here. And he's one of the things with this specific fight is the fact that I wish there was more time to digest that Unohana was the Kenpachi. Like, we kind of got into it the last episode and then just immediately jumped into the fight and everything. Like, it just happened so fast. You know what I mean? We didn't really digest that information of everything that's going on with Unohana within their character. And we know, and that sucks, because in this week's episode, she dies. So it's like, she's a character that did not get much screen time at all. If you ask yourself, what did she do throughout all of Bleach to make you care about her character like that, outside of her character design and her nice-natured like personality? You know what I mean? Even though there was some like underhanded, like, you can tell there's something like underneath the surface with her, because there have been moments within the anime that have shown this, and the manga has done that a few times itself too, but it did not do it enough, and we just did not have enough actual moments with her as a character for us to really like take in that moment and really feel that sadness. It reminds me of a lot in some ways, and it's still not the same equivalent, but it's something I can kind of compare to, is One Piece with Ace. Ace had a moment within Alabasta, and he got to see his younger brother, and they got to hang out and stuff like that. So he got to see Ace's character at that time. Outside of that moment, we had then the fight with Blackbeard, and then the capture scene, and then his untimely demise. And it's like we didn't really get much information there. you know? And it's like what the heck? And it's kind of similar to this, but this is even worse. Welcome in, Thumps. Welcome in. But it's even worse though, because with this, we didn't do much with Unohana. So her death, as sad as it is not that impactful because we didn't do enough when it comes to just her as a character. And just all this with the whole freaking Kenpachi stuff. But again, I still enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong. One thing I will give the anime that did way better than the actual manga, I have to say this. The Bankai. Unohana's Bankai was done so much better. It's stupid how much better it is. I didn't understand a thing that happened when I was reading the manga. When I was reading the manga for that fight, I was confused. Everybody and they mama was confused with what was going on here. But with the way the anime depicted that Bankai, it was perfect. It was perfect. 10 out of 10 when it comes to that. Like the adaptation, beautiful. Freaking beautiful. But thank you. Yes, sir. I got the jacket on. I got the jacket. You can actually thank Anna for this jacket, actually. Just so you know. This one, old Bleach Fury, we had a whole episode, but the past. Yeah. That's it. I just wish there was more to her. And so a lot of these characters in general, there could have been a lot more characterization. I just wish that she didn't have to die like this. But there can only be one. Like Highlander, there can only be one. There can only be one Kenpachi. So now that whole secret is out, she had to go. And it just sucks. But the fight itself was freaking nice. It was clean as heck. When the skulls happened, I was sitting here like, bro, that thing was insane. It was insane. That fight scene, I was like, mon ami, Miss Magnifico. The crap was beautiful. The crap was goddamn beautiful. I was like, that's what I'm talking about. Like, oh man, just the way they depicted that whole thing when it comes to the actual the Bankai itself, that was perfect. And just look back at the manga. If you take the time, if you're anime only, right? Go and read the manga real quick of that scene, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Like the way the anime did it was just so much better. But yeah, so where we left off when it comes to Bleach at the end of the episode is that Ichigo was not good enough to be able to get Asuchi to recognize him as a Soul Reaper. So therefore, Nimaya is not going to fix his sword. So Nimaya sends him back all the way back to Katakura Town, back to his shop, so he can go and find himself. Because Nimaya told him, and this is like a hint right here, that he's not a Soul Reaper. So therefore, that's why the Asuchi's never actually chose him. And that whole Asuchi explanation was actually quite interesting too, when it comes to how the swords are actually created. This is part of the reason why I said Nimaya's introduction was so much better, because it took more time to explain some stuff, and we actually got to see his character and how he acts as a person. You know what I mean? So that's why I thought this whole thing was just it was structured a lot better than any of the other Zero Division members. But yeah, he got sent back because he's not a Soul Reaper. So that should be just a hint on what was going on with some of his powers. There's another hint that was actually happening here. He has the blue vein. So obviously he has some Quincy abilities there. Like Ichigo seems like he's a smorgasbord of a bunch of stuff then, apparently, if that's what's going on here, because he also has hollow powers, right? So he has to figure out what his roots are to then go back to be able to fix his sword. So hopefully going back to the Katakura Clinic is going to do something for him. But who knows? This man might just use his other abilities. Like, maybe he doesn't need his sword. Maybe he doesn't need the sword abilities like that. But one little thing, one little nugget. I don't know if anyone's going to be saying this, but I like this. I like this a lot. The Asukis, you know, he was talking about the swords and how they are and how they come up and how you're supposed to pretty much eat with them, sleep with them, and then they become an essence of you and everything like that. But Nimaya asked this question about who is actually on top, the Asukis or the Soul Reapers. And this is like a callback, if you think about it, back when Hollow Ichigo appeared, and he talked about the whole horse and the king and trying to be on top. It was a nice little callback, kind of like to that scene in that moment. If you really think about it, you know what I mean? I really liked that a lot. I was like, hey, yo, that's what I'm talking about. I don't know if y'all remember what I'm talking about, but he had a whole speech talking about the horse and the king, and that the king gonna get knocked off his goddamn horse, and we gonna switch places. So I like that. I like that a lot. Overall, though, even with what was going on with some of these episodes and the pacing of itself, I'm still enjoying Bleach quite a lot. Overall, this is like a good at least 8 out of 10. I'll give last week's episode an 8 and give this week's episode a 9. I'll do that because this episode was a lot better than last week's episode. I have to admit. And I think I just like some of the little subtleties that was going on with it. Stop! Welcome in. Welcome in. We're talking about Bleach currently at the moment, but I know you want to wait and get into the hot topic section, so we'll be in there soon enough, hopefully. There's a lot to talk about because we missed 2 weeks. We missed 2 weeks, basically. Well, we missed a week, so I'm having to talk about last week's episode and this week's episode, so that's why we're going through a lot of stuff right now. He said, looks really good. Well, thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I got you. So, with that said, let's move on to the next anime, because we talked a lot about that, actually. I didn't expect to actually talk that much about Bleach, but here we are. So now, we got My Hero Academia. All right, this is another thing that I'm having an issue with. I'm having a lot of issues with a lot of these animes now I'm noticing. Last week's episode dealt with more of Shigaraki and trying to take Deku's ability, basically, right? And we actually had like a little like back and forth of actual power struggle that was happening with that whole situation. And then we got to see some of the, the people inside of them. You know, we have All For One over there. He's all out here being a goon. Like, if it wasn't for me, Shigaraki, you would have been dead. If it wasn't for me. I was like, I'm not going to lie. Last week's episode pissed me off. I'm not liking the fact that Shigaraki went through all of this and he's still up here fighting. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. Like, by God. Welcome in, Ace. Welcome in. Bro, Bam Bam came in here 2 times. What was going on there? You know, no, so there it is. But I'm just saying, like, when it comes to My Hero, I just did not like what they were doing with this whole thing with Shigaraki. Like, Shigaraki should have just left at that point. It's weird because he should have been retreating like long before, but he has not done that. I was like, I don't know. His durability is insane. Like, once he actually heals up, because I know he's not gonna die here. He's the main villain. He's the main villain, so he's not gonna die here. He has plot armor. So then you're gonna tell him he's gonna be back to 100%, probably be even better than before, because this is still him awakening before he's actually at 100%. So it's like, you're telling me he's gonna be stronger than even this? It's like, bro, this sucker's busted as heck. I'm just like, bro, I don't know. It's frustrating. It was frustrating to see all that, but that power struggle, that whole ordeal. Obviously, he didn't take the ability from Deku. He tried. It wasn't good enough. And then now we got this whole thing with Dabi, and we have Dabi's dance. That was this week's episode. This was a much better episode. I enjoyed it. Granted, I'll say this much: it's pretty obvious Dabi, like, who the father is for Dabi, and you know what I mean. Like, we all kind of knew this the moment we saw Dabi. The moment we saw this boy, we were like, he's fine, Endeavor's son. Yeah, and there it is. It's like, I mean, it's pretty, you know what I mean? It's not surprising. So I kind of like the way they did it, because it wasn't like the super shock to know that that's what the case is, but they try to let it play out, be a whole scene, give the documents even. He said, I took a blood test, and it came back 99.9% that I am indeed your son, a DNA test. Like, bro, he had to do the whole thing, the whole 9, just to make sure you know. Because what he's trying to do, what I liked about this, is pretty much turn on Endeavor. Endeavor's our #1 hero. And so if he actually lets out this light that he has been just a terrible father, a terrible freaking human being to begin with, maybe that will actually shake up the foundation of people trusting even the #1 hero is the thing here. So I kind of like what they're doing with that. That's ultimately what they should have done. And I'm glad they went that route. But that crap was still stressful at the end of the day, because then Dabi out here doing freaking psychological mind games on his own dad, and then ends up doing freaking the Fire Prominence show move, and he out here doing his whole body said swan dive. Ah! he just started going in with the flames, baby. I was like, all right, let's go. Nice. What? Oh, message got retracted. What happened there? What's going on? Goodness gracious. Y'all need to catch up, because I've been watching these shows. I've been catching up, all right? But needless to say, Dabi's dance was actually a fine episode. We got done and did what we needed to do with that. I am kind of curious of, like, what they're going to do, because he said this multiple times in the episode that Dabi's fire is actually stronger than his own Endeavor's. So, like, is he really about to get bodied here? Like, again, and then you have that gigantism stuck over there too. So that should be a way for for Shigaraki to finally get out of here. And it's just like, bro, it's just so much stuff going on. There's so many villains that are just so much better than the goddamn heroes. It's just frustrating. It's just frustrating to see. This whole ordeal has been kind of frustrating just to watch because it's just like, what are they really going to be doing? You know? Bakugo couldn't do nothing. Sucker got stabbed and he was out of commission. We have freaking, what's the dude that runs fast? What the heck is his goddamn name? Enignium or something like that. Guy's trash anyways. I don't know why he over there. He gonna get caught in the fire of freaking Shigaraki. Yeah, bro, go sit down. I know his friends are over there, but you ain't doing nothing, brother. You ain't doing nothing. I was like, I don't know. I still have that same feeling when it comes to these heroes. They ain't no good. They ain't no good. And freaking Endeavor, even though he's #1 hero, this man's out here burnt out. Sucker can't even do nothing no more. I was like, get out of here. Just get out of here. All right. Oh my God. Good to have a great rest of your YouTube stream later on. All right, Thumper. See you later. See you later, Thumps. Well, we're done with here. I'll give last week's episode like a 7.5. Yeah, I'm gonna give it like a 7.5. And this week's episode, I'll give this week's episode an 8.5 because this was a step up from last week. I'll say that much because Dobby's dance was pretty good. It's pretty good. But with that said, we move on to the next episode, the next show, which is Blue Lock. This show has been impressing me. This show has been impressing me every episode. It's only gotten better since it started, and I'm impressed with it. I like Blue Lock. Blue Lock is a good show, and this one is a double parter too because it's about they only have one match left, and so they're fighting against this Omega team, basically this team that's freaking unstoppable. They're supposed to be anyways, right? They're supposed to be. These guys literally mopped the floor with every other team. The other teams didn't even get to score. Like, these suckers out here had like 20 points at one point. It's crazy with the stuff that they're doing, right? But for some reason, was it Team Z? They're able to keep up with Team V. They're keeping up with them. So much so that the game is tied. They have a tie game with these fools. It's insane what's going on here. Because right now, everybody's unlocking all their abilities. Everybody's unlocking all their abilities and then surpassing said abilities. You know what I mean? They understand what they got to do next. And Sagi at the moment, he's trying to figure out what his whole ordeal is and what he needs to do. And so he ended up finding out what he has. He has like this future sight thing. So how his ability works, more or less, he has to actually have an understanding of the field and understanding of people's abilities. But there's somebody on Team V that is super unpredictable, so he has a hard time trying to figure out what he's going to do next. He's the only wild card that's making it difficult for Team Z to even make this victory happen. Because this dude is a prodigy, and he's, like, unstoppable. He's actually trying now, because before then, he was never trying facing against any of these other teams. But Team Z has pushed them to the limits, and it's showing. It's freaking showing. It's again, these games are freaking exciting as heck. This game is exciting as heck. Is it worth getting caught up on? Yes, it is, Avatar. This show's good. If you like sports anime, you're gonna get that same sports feeling. Like when you watch a Hajime no Ippo and you want to start boxing all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? You start watching Kuroko no Basket, you want to start freaking getting into the zone and start playing basketball. This show makes you want to play soccer. Wants you to play some goddamn football at this point in time. It's good. The show is good. It took a minute to get to this point, but I feel like we're actually at a point with the show that I'm enjoying it a lot. I'm starting to enjoy it quite a lot. So like I said, we have this final battle that's going on with Team V and Team Z. And everybody's pretty much unlocking and surpassing their abilities, surpassing their limits, and figuring out what they can do. And so even with all that going on, it's still difficult. But there's a dude, Keon. I think it's Keon. That's how you say his name. That sucker that pretty much just like betrayed them and all that. That guy, yeah, he actually even helped out in this game. He actually fouled. So someone on their team wasn't going to be able to score. It's like this dude even started to actually do something finally. After all this time, he saw that Team Z is putting in the work. He's like, how are they keeping up? This makes no sense. They're actually about to win. They kept going. It's like, bro. So I'm excited. I'm excited. So we're at the point where they got the ball right now. And so they only have less than a few minutes left in the game. So they got to make this happen. They got to score because if it's a tie game, it's not going to be in their favor. They got to win so they can just move on in general. So, like I said, it's exciting. I love this game. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. The Batman Jack. Oh, thank you, Andy. Thank you, Andy. You can thank Anna for that one. But how are you doing? Welcome in, Andy. I appreciate you coming by. I watched the first 3 episodes and enjoyed it, but kind of fell off. Understandable. Like I said again, it took me until I think episode 5 when I started really episode 4. Episode 4 is when I was really enjoying it, and I kept up with it at that point. For real. You know what I mean? Before that, I was still kind of iffy on it because I wasn't sure if I really wanted to get into the show like that. But I'm in it now. Like, as you see, I'm excited. I'm hyped. You know, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go right now. You know, I'm ready to start kicking down doors, playing some soccer. So overall, both episodes are 8s. Both episodes are 8s, though. I'll give it that. There's some solid episodes. I'm enjoying this stuff. I'm enjoying football. All right. But with that said, let's continue onwards to the next show, which I think actually is the last show that we're talking about, because you see that's our thumbnail actually, which is Chainsaw Man, because Chainsaw Man Day is on break until the manga comes back, because the man is taking a break, and it's okay. It is okay that he's taking a break. It's okay. All right. The jacket is dope. I appreciate that, Avatar. Like I said, it's comfortable too. It's very, very comfortable. Very comfortable. But Chainsaw Man, I'm going to just get this out the way right now. Both episodes. Because I didn't do last week's, right? And we were doing this week's over here too. So I'm just going to say this right now. The GOAT. 100%. I'm just going to get this out the way. The winner of both last week and this week. Yes, last week and this week is freaking Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man did it. I'm jumping ahead, so it's going to be kind of weird actually trying to put the timestamps for this. But regardless, I'm just saying it right now. It's easy. It's easy. I don't have to think about it that hard. Last week's episode, think about it. What was going on last week's episode? Himeno's death. She was gone. That whole thing was emotional. Emotional damage. You know, that whole thing was something else, all right? We ate that episode. And this week's episode is just as fire. It's just as fire because we got a training session for this week's episode. We have a training session for this week's episode with freaking Power and Denji. These suckers out here getting murked every which way. Man is getting murked every time. The guy died like 20 times in one day. It's like this. They're going through a training arc right now because obviously Denji just every time he fights a strong enemy, he gets knocked out. People are just mopping the floor with him left and right. So he has to get better. So we have somebody right now currently training him. He is supposedly the best devil hunter there is. He claims he is anyways, right? I mean, Makima did assign him, and he's from Division 1 to help him with this. But regardless, he's saying he is the best. And he likes these unorthodox son of a gun, so he's going to train them. He's gonna whip them up to be something better than what they currently are right now. So this whole week's episode is just them getting murked the entire time. And then they try to make a plan, but then the plan still backfired because the man is good. He knows what he's doing. And Power used way too much of her power, her blood, so she was out here out cold. And then she thought they were done fighting because that guy said, I'm actually done here. You guys did a good plan, so I'm going to go home and start drinking or something, right? He believed that, and then got stabbed in the head. It's like, it's a shame. It's a shame. It's a goddamn shame. But the main thing when it comes to this week's episode is actually Aki. Aki has to contract with another devil because he's not going to stop. Himeno died, and the gun devil's still on the loose. He has goals, and he only has 2 years to do it. Because we found out this episode that he only has 2 years to live, after using his ability. And it sucks, because Himeno freaking survived. Himeno sacrificed herself for him. It's like, bro. And I have a question, actually. I have a question with this. Also, welcome in, Fortunate. Welcome in. So it's okay for Fujimoto to take several breaks and not to Togashi for man's health. Andy, that is not the same thing. Oh, okay, see, look, I had a whole thing I'm about to say, but let me run this back. Andy, you ain't know what you're talking about. There's a difference between taking a 2-week break and taking a 5-year break. Like, this man was gone. Togashi was gone. He wasn't taking a break. This is hiatus ex hiatus. Like, what? This is not comparable. It is not comparable. Oh, you saw that retweet? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that, I started dying too. I was like, what? He's out here just dancing, freaking to the beat. You know what I'm saying? Oh man. No, I'm not even. I'm actually not joking, Anna. I don't know if you know about this, but Togashi, he is the creator of Hunter x Hunter. Actually, I'm wearing a I'm wearing a Hunter x Hunter shirt. This is some press clean merch. Actually, now I bring this up, but this is Hunter x Hunter shirt I'm actually wearing currently right now, which is kind of funny about this. But this man has taken breaks as long as like 5 or 6 years. His break before that, well, I think it was the shortest one, which was like 3 or so years. But he's very inconsistent. He's so inconsistent that it's hard for me to want to actually read Hunter x Hunter because I don't know when he's gonna like stop again. That's the problem. I don't know when he's gonna stop again, so I'm scared to read again. All right. Oh man. Yeah, that letter though. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, again, it's like so. Again, running this back real quick. When it comes to Chainsaw Man, the world of Chainsaw Man, all right, it's a weird freaking world that you can live in. As a regular human being, is it really okay to live in this world like that and just live like idly by without being like a devil hunter? Because like they make it seem like you can just work in a different section and just not have to worry about the devils and stuff like that. But the devils are devils. Like they attack people, they kill suckers. Like you can't just let them roam free. Like if no one does the job, what happens then? You know what I mean? Like it's an actual question I have when it comes to the world of Chainsaw Man, because they're saying that Aki should just like go ahead and like give this whole thing up, but there's multiple reasons why Aki legit can't stop. One, he has a revenge thing he has to do here, and the other thing is he contracted with a devil that's literally taking his life. He only has so many years to live, so it's like why would he even leave at this point in time? You know, like they're not understanding what's like this. Well, no, they don't really understand what his actual ability is or what kind of contract he has with the devil. And that's another thing when it comes to this. I feel like the cursed devil, which is the one that's taking his life, he messed up. He messed up on this contract. I feel like he should have got a different contract. The cursed devil, the curse in general, curses are very powerful, right? Right. Usually, the more powerful, like the name of the devil. And you heard this from Makima in some weeks episodes, like some episodes back. It's like the more powerful the devil sounds, it usually means they're stronger. The future devil is a pretty powerful sounding name, future. You know what I mean? Future sight, more or less, and stuff like that. So that's a pretty powerful ability to have, right? So it's just like, to me, I'm confused because like Himeno's ability, for instance, right? That ability seemed pretty good, but apparently it stood no match to a snake. So, like, why did that win over her ability when she gave literally her all to her ability? It's like, that's kind of unfair. It's like, was that freaking ghost just not good enough? Like, it's weird how these contracts kind of are, because at the end of the day, ultimately, right, the user decides, or they've come up with a contract that is suitable for the devil, and they go with it and everything, right? It's a negotiation. He should have negotiated better. That's all I'm trying to say. Because, like, what can he even do to even get the future devil? Like, what can he even give at this point? You don't really have much. So it's weird. And welcome in, Quetz. Yeah, you don't know what he's talking about. All right, 2 years made me sad. Yeah, he's not gonna live for very long. That's the unfortunate part about all this. It's not a world I would want to be a part of at all. No, I would not want to live in the goddamn Chainsaw Man world. Because, like, again, how do you live in this world if you're not a devil hunter? You know what I mean? Like, it's an actual question I have when it comes to just the world of what Fujimoto created here, because he keeps making it seem like you can just walk away from this. But why walk away? Because you're still gonna have to fight something at some point anyways, right? Either you're gonna fight or you're gonna die. Because, like, as we've seen multiple times, these demons, these devils don't care about the environment and what's going on around it. And they will kill anybody that gets in their way. So it's like, what? Why quit? I don't know. You have to have a screw loose in general just to actually live in this world, all right? He could have given him his life literally, but then how is he going to use the ability? How's he going to use the ability? What? Hiatus X hiatus. Yeah, that's what we call it. That's what we call it, all right? I was gonna buy a Killa shirt the other day, but I chickened out. Why you chicken? Buy the shirt, Andy. What do you mean? Why you chicking out? I'm buying merch that you love. What? Yeah, manga went on hiatus for 7 years. Oh, Immortal Reigns. Yeah. Well, So is it still on hiatus, or did it ever come back? Did it ever come back? That's the question here. That's the question here. Make sure I'm actually not missing nothing to see what y'all talking about. Like Quest out here losing his goddamn mind. I mean, it's all good, sir. Overtime should start slowing down here in a bit. I guess that's the reason. That's the reason devil hunting the biggest profession. Exactly, right? It's the biggest profession because like somebody has to do this job. If we don't do this job, everybody dies. Like I don't understand. I don't understand. The gun devil is dead. The future devil can have his life. That's not a bad thought. That's actually not a bad thought. That could be what he can do. But I mean, the future devil was staring at him. Also, you gotta remember too, this is the future devil. He sees Aki's future, so he already knows the outcome of what's going on with his life the moment he saw him, because he's the future devil. So I'm assuming, anyways, that's how it should work. You see the future. Okay. So I'm indecisive. Look, just buy the shirt. Look, you want more anime merch, right? Go and buy that shirt. Be nice. And they're not picky who they take. Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly right. They're not picky who they take. Like, hey, if you want to be a part of it, go right ahead. I mean, you get to have, I guess, a roof over your head and some cash and stuff like that, right? But it's like, how much is enough? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Would you do it? This is a question for you guys. Would you guys be devil hunters? Monorail finish, but it came back with no announcement or anything. It just happened. Wait, what? Wait, it just randomly started updating all of a sudden. What? He said, oh, hey, I'm back. After all these years, look, I got these new, fresh ideas. I got to start putting the pen to paper. How far in the future can it see? I'm not sure. I mean, it's the future devil, so think about what the future can hold. Like, what could it do? You know what I mean? I would like to think maybe it can look into, like, way in the... I mean, it's a future devil. It should be able to see the future. Like, I mean, it's hard to say. It could be 10 years or 10 minutes. That'll be a bootleg. Bro. Anna. It can't be that bootleg. It's supposed to be a powerful devil. It's supposed to be a powerful... If it can only see 10 minutes into the future, you know how sad that would be? How is that powerful? How is that powerful? Ooh, I can see a little bit ahead. A little bit ahead. Oh, like, wait. Come on now. And how did it get caught? Maybe it wanted to get caught. Who knows? Look, that's another question, actually. Why are these devils even in here? I'm pretty sure if they powerful enough, they can just walk out, like, get out of there. Why are they keeping themselves locked up? You know what I mean? Like, what's stopping them from not getting out? Like, that place looks dingy as heck. What kind of security's over there? Who's actually watching this area? You know what I mean? Who has the ability to keep all these suckers in lockdown? These are a lot of questions we have here, okay? There's a lot of questions here. Stop being a goddamn weenie, Andy. You need to start getting some goddamn merch. It's time. It's time. It's how it never be one. Hey, see, look, but so you're telling me then you will just try to live a normal life as best you can in the Chainsaw Man world then? Because, like, you have no ability to protect yourself. I'm just saying. All right, being ALT that. Oh, is that a hot take? Is that like a hot take actually? Because, like, which world is actually better in this particular instance? The Attack on Titan world or Chainsaw Man world? And she out here choosing the ALT world. I don't know about that one. I mean, they're both pretty bad. Which is worse though? That's the question here. I mean, if you're on the Marlian side, it might not be that bad then. It depends on what part you get born into. If you're an Eldian, oh boy. I'm just saying. In the current time frame, I don't know. I don't know about that. Right? Maybe they were bored. Possibly. And magic is also a possibility too. The magic devil could actually put them down. I don't know. Like I said, think about anything that could be. There's so many different like type of abilities that can be out here. I don't know if there's a magic devil, but that would be interesting if there is a magic devil. I'm just saying. Yeah, because he was too busy dancing. He said, man, you can catch me, but I'm having a good goddamn time, man. Look, I'm listening to these songs. These bops are freaking real. You know what I'm saying? I was listening to freaking Senpai in the Sheets. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was in there. Oh, Emerald being this a slice of life. I mean, that's just a regular world then. That's boring, Andy. That's boring. A slice of life is just a regular world. That's just Japan then at that point. Look, but just be a little spicy. A slice of life with mechs in it at least. You know what I'm saying? Let's go that route, you know? Like Geass. I feel like there are places you can be safe in ALT. Like I said, it depends on where you're born. If you're a freaking Eldian, you're in a constant state of fear of a Titan eating you. A Marlian, it's more of the government problems, and that's just like life right now. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't even be in the main protagonist. I'd just be in the background characters. I'll probably be a background character too, unfortunately, right? I think I'd much rather be in the Chainsaw Man world. At least you seem to have more freedom than ALT. Facts. Thank you, Avatar. Thank you. It's funny that we're divulging into this kind of conversation right now, but no, like really think about it. You do technically have more freedom there. You just also have the freedom to die quicker too. I'm just saying, because the way the world is over here, a devil can attack at any moment, at any time. You can be at school, be 6 years old, saying, I'm having fun. And then the future devil said, actually, your future is over. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could have started dancing on your grave. You never know. You never know. There are time travel slice of lives. I mean, yes, but is it really that dangerous, though? You got to ask yourself that. Slice of life with mechs. I mean, there are some options out there. Right? Yeah, oh, mechs, huh? Yeah, look, you can ride a mech. Think about that. You can be your whole thing. You be your own boss. All right, look. But it's but there's danger that comes into all that. But regardless, I'm curious of what Aki's going to have to do here when it comes to actually figuring this whole thing out, because it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. But maybe the future devil might have something else in store for him. Who knows? And will Dingy and Power actually be able to get the power enough in order to even fight this man? To even fight, like not defeat him, just to fight the guy. Is it even possible? Can they get good? Find out next time on Dragon Ball Z. Okay, all right, we stop. 9 out of 10, obviously. I don't want to give it a 10 out of 10, but I really enjoyed this episode. There's one little thing I also want to bring up. One last thing for Chainsaw Man, and that is the subtleties again. People got to start appreciation. You got to start appreciating the animation for this show. You know, I know people are literally thrown off by the CGI of it at times, but it's just like there are moments within this show when it comes to movement, when it comes to real life movement. There's not a show that does it better than what Chainsaw Man is currently doing. When he read that letter, you can see like how his eyes are like reading and traveling the page. Or when he started thinking about Himeno and everything like that, you can kind of just see like the distraught in his face and the eye and the way his eyes started to like kind of shift. Like it's little subtleties like that I just sat there and I keep saying wow, just wow. Like it's little things like that I'm noticing myself and how the scenery plays out within the scene itself, and just the environment and how they set up these like feelings, these moments with these characters. You know, it's actually trying to set up the mood in the environment that they're in. It's like, you know what I mean? It's just like those little things. It goes a long way to make things feel more impactful than it needs to even be, actually. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, it reminds me of like a movie. Like, it reminds you so much of a movie because movies do this all the time, where they try to actually let you sink into the feeling of what these characters are feeling at that moment. You know what I mean? So we take time to just kind of sit back and just let it sink in. And I'm really, really appreciating what Mappa's doing with this goddamn show with Chainsaw Man. And I'm really appreciating the animation. So I'm round of applause for that. One more time. It's like it's deserving of this kind of praise. It's an amazing show. I'm glad I'm watching it. I'm glad I'm reading this series. I'm glad I'm a fan, because I wouldn't have been in this series like that otherwise, you know? Like, man, Chainsaw Man's freaking beautiful. 9 out of 10. Even with all the blood, they would still definitely love Aki. They would have, yeah, exactly. Exactly right. Exactly, Avatar. Because like remember that moment where he just literally living. It's like it was just living. He got up out of his bed, started brushing his teeth, started making goddamn breakfast. You know what I'm saying? Like put some clothes in the washer machine. You know what I'm saying? Like I'll just say dishwasher, but in the washing machine. Like he was just living, and it's just like those little subtleties that goes a long way. That was amazing. That was amazing. God, what I've seen of the show, I think the lighting is really nice. It is. It is. Andy, you should watch the show. If you're not watching it, Andy, you should watch it. I feel like you'll like it. I know it's a lot of blood, but I think you watch it. I'm just saying. I think you'll have a fun time with it. Say yes, actually. I see you fortunate. Only problem I have with Aki, his hair. What's wrong with his hair? What's wrong with Aki's hair? What's the problem here? I mean, who doesn't like Aki? Apparently Anna right now. Apparently Anna. But with that said, we already did, anime of the week. It's Chainsaw. I mean, I'll do it again real quick. It's Chainsaw Man, obviously. Chainsaw Man is a goddamn show that is just running through. We're just running right through it. We're just running right through it. Let me actually recenter my camera a little bit here because we no longer need it like that, I don't think. Or maybe I do. Who knows? We'll see what happens here. But with that said, we're finally on to the topic. An hour later, I knew it was going to take me a little bit longer than normal to actually talk about all these shows, but we're finally here into the anime hot take, and we got two hot takes, which are Tsunderes are trash, and so is Code Geass, all right? I wanted to wipe myself real quick, you know what I'm saying? Like, wipe myself real quick. I gotta clean myself up. But nah, I wanted to talk about Code Geass one more time in the anime YouTube sphere, so if someone were to watch this like as a video, right, they get to hear my opinion and know exactly what it is, and this lives on as a video for later usage, you know what I mean? So I want to talk about this again. That's one hot take, and the other hot take is also the whole Tsunderes are trash. I hate Tsunderes. I'm saying right now, I don't like Tsudere characters. I don't like them at all. I have yet to find a Tsudere character I said, yeah, I like that character. I don't like them. I don't like them at all. I'm tired of this freaking trope. This trope is overused. It needs to stop. We need to just like use some dares. You know what I'm saying? Like those ones that are loving. You know what I'm saying? We need those loving ones out here. We need ones that aren't trying to confuse you in this hot and cold state. I'm not all about confusion. All right? I hate this crap where it's like, oh, I love you, but not really. So I'm gonna beat you up. Nah, bro. Tell me what you really feel and just be consistent. I love consistency. I want consistency. This is Darius slander. I'm just telling how it is. I'm telling how it is, Andy. Y'all, what now? Andy. See, I don't think you heard my rant from my stream on Twitch. So that's good. All right. Now you're gonna try to fight me, but I'm gonna tell you why Code Geass is not as good as people make it out to be. Because I think what's going on when it comes to Code Geass specifically, it's one of those shows that came out at a time where we weren't really accustomed to anime like that. First of all, that's the first thing. You know what I mean? This is it's a show for like the older watchers like ourselves. We're in the game now for a while. I rewatched Code Geass, all of Code Geass when I was sick. And so when I got done watching it, I realized there's some things about the show that I just was not enjoying. I was not enjoying. Like, I thought this show was like a 9 out of 10. You know what I mean? I remember vividly how the ending was, and the ending was an emotional impact. It was really, really good. Rewatching the show, I guess because I have a greater like appreciation for like writing, and I can see more things a bit clearly now because I was a lot younger when I first watched it. So you gotta remember this. When I first watched Code Geass, I was back on like Toonami, like on the Toonami days where like Death Note was like brand new. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's back in the day. So it was a while ago since I've last watched this show. So rewatching it after all these years, now I'm a super seasoned veteran when it comes to anime, I'm looking back at it, I see a lot of the tropes that they have in it. The ecchi, obviously, that's actually plays a part in it, which makes no sense in the show. It's weird how the ecchi is in the show. I don't know why some of that is even there in the first place. It's really odd. I will always say this about the show. But there's actually some other things that I can bring up real quick, which I will do in a second. Fortune's ready. I relate so much to Helga growing up. See, there it is. Confession, I never watched Code Geass. Nani? Really? Interesting. So you're a pretty big anime fan at this point. I'm noticing Avatar. So I'm gonna say this much. I'm saying this is a little bit clickbaity. It's a little bit clickbait because I don't think the show sucks. But I think the show is overhyped. It's not as good as people remember it to be, is a thing. And I implore anybody that has watched Code Geass to rewatch it. If you watched the show like 4 years ago or later, you should rewatch the show. I think you'll start seeing some of the cracks that are actually within the writing for Code Geass. Because one of the main things with Code Geass that I have a problem with is pacing is kind of weird. It's a weird type of pacing that they'll do, and it's the way the pacing is. It's like 1 minute you'll have the really serious like episode where people are like just dying, right? And you got these things going left and right, and then all of a sudden we'll just all of a sudden do a 180 on its like themes and just have a really comical episode. They've done that a few times. Like there's a few episodes in there that's just so misplaced that it just feels weird and a bit jarring to watch all of a sudden. And that's the thing about the show, right? The show has weird comical moments in it. For as serious as it can get, like the whole thing with Shuri and her father and Lelouch, like you know what I'm talking about. Like surely that whole situation was freaking ridiculous. But then we also had these other moments where it's just like we have these weird loving bootleg festival moments and stuff like that, where it's just like it's like a weird juxtaposition that happens with the show. It's weird how they kind of fit it in there, and I think that's because of just how the studio is and how they wanted to handle it, maybe. But it's a bit weird of when it comes to its pacing on when they try to do that. And then another thing that was actually weird about Code Geass, the season 1 to season 2 jump was jarring to watch because all of a sudden he just forgot everything, and it's just like then. Yeah, within that same episode, he starts to remember everything. You know what I mean? It's just like the way they kind of like paced that, it was way too fast. And that's what I can say about the show in general. Again, back to this pacing. If you guys remember, if you watched the first episode of Code Geass, go watch the first episode real quick, actually. Just watch the first episode. You'll see what I'm talking about with this. It's like, we kind of get his character. We kind of understand him. I like kind of how they first initially bring him in as Lelouch. Not Britannia, but Lelouch as the man that's playing these underground chess games and doing these little like side hustles and him being bored of kind of life. And then all of a sudden, just his life turned upside down, literally a 180, getting trapped in this little area, running into C2, and then boom, he has an ability. That's literally the first episode. Like, they do all of this. There's so much that happens in the first episode. I was like, wait a minute. I didn't realize it was this quick. And then we just start jumping right into his aspiration, his goals immediately. Like, he already knows what he wants to do. It reminds me a lot of Light. Light did the same thing in Death Note. Light was already bored of the world. And so when the Death Note came to be, he's like, I knew exactly what I needed to do. And this is exactly what Lelouch just pretty much did. It's very similar in its own way, but the way the pacing is in Code Geass, it keeps that pacing though. It doesn't really slow down like that. That's the thing about Code Geass that's different from the Death Note. So let me take it back and see what you guys are talking about. The political and comical moments do clash sometimes. I think I really liked it for the more emotional scenes, the main characters, and the music. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. I remember a lot of the emotional scenes. I remember like the main characters, like freaking Suzaku, which he's another thing. Suzaku, oh my god, he didn't even know how to actually explain why he's doing what he's doing. Like, he's the guy that's trying to like be a cop, right? And he's like, I could be one of the good cops. That's basically his whole shtick. But he doesn't know how to actually express it in a way to where he can actually combat the other side with Lelouch. These whole arguments all the time with Suzaku was annoying as heck because he didn't know how to actually argue his point across. Like, the show didn't know how to make it make sense. He keeps saying, "Oh, he's just not doing the right thing." How is what you're doing the right thing? You are a lapdog for the government, and you out here even at one point wanting to just even kill the opposition because you think that's gonna save people. It's like, the way Suzaku think the entire way was actually very annoying throughout the whole show. I have to admit that. I understand because I've seen this in like real life, but it's just like, bro, it's like I felt like the show didn't know how to make a better argument with that. It reminded me of like one example I can give is freaking Avatar Last Airbender, Legend of Korra. When Korra was going against Amon, and Amon did a whole uprising, right? He had all these people with him telling him like these benders, they're out here being privileged and stuff like that. What is your response to these benders out here misusing their powers? She said, I just gotta stop you. Like she had like no argument. Like that's the one thing I didn't like about the first season of Legend of Korra. She had literally zero argument. She just said, I have to stop you. She didn't have nothing. And that's what Suzaku was doing. Just didn't have no argument. That's like, God dang. So I kind of understand his goals, but I don't like how he did it with like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like it's the way they kind of structured it, and like I said, I felt like he didn't know how to like make that argument make more sense. They could have done more with that, but they didn't. Only thing I know of Code Geass with Lelouch making the pink hair girl start killing people, and then she died for something like, I don't know. I mean, again, don't get me wrong. It's a show that's worth watching. It's worth watching, and some of the themes that they do bring up are very interesting to actually talk about because it kind of affects even within our real world like situations. Again, Suzaku and Lelouch of what is right and wrong, what is the right thing, what is the right way of doing something. The question, like the answer a lot of the times to that question is there really isn't a right way to do anything. Sometimes you gotta have force. Sometimes you need force to make certain changes happen. We wouldn't be in the position that we are in life without some of that conflict happening, unfortunately. It's an unfortunate fact, but it's a fact nonetheless. But let me actually catch back up right here. Okay, let me make sure I didn't read nothing. Okay. Well, it's just like a solid 7.5 for me. But I do admit a lot of this nostalgia, the fan service has always been questionable. 100%. 100%. Performances of Lelouch. Yeah, I mean, Lelouch's performance from Japanese to English is freaking Johnny on Bosch freaking killed that role. They both did an amazing job. I'm gonna rewatch it. You should rewatch it. Fortunate. I think you'll see what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the show. Because like I said, there's like it's weird how its pacing kind of is set up, and that weird juxtaposition between the serious moments and the comical moments that it kind of throws it all in there. And it's weird because I had a weird moment when I was watching the show. There's a certain character, I won't say who, but there's a certain character I thought died somewhere in season 2, but they actually survived the entire show. I was so confused because I thought they were dead. And I'm like, how the heck they survive? It just really threw me off because I don't remember this like at all. So that's why I was like, rewatching the show was actually quite interesting for me because there are certain things I just didn't even remember that happened that I thought happened but didn't happen. You know what I mean? It was a weird effect that I was having when I was watching the show. I was like, what is going on here? But yeah. Watch here, season 2 is a big fall off. Oh, really? So like, there people actually have that argument that season 2 wasn't as good as season 1. Because I agree, I 100% agree with this. Season 2 is not as good as season 1. Season 1, I felt like had a bit more focus and way the stakes were and how they played along with like the chess pieces in the game were done a bit better. I felt like in season 2, they tried to recreate that same type of magic, but it wasn't really working the same way. Not to mention, it did get a little more sci-fi, not say sci-fi. What's the word I'm looking for? It got more extra, like supernatural. There we go. Supernatural when it comes to the abilities of the Geass, for instance, is a thing. So I think that's another reason why it kind of wasn't as good or it fell off a little bit. So I hated Suzaku for the longest time. Freaking Suzaku's annoying as heck. God. Let's see. Suzaku, I kind of understand it, but it's gold, but I like what's that. Suzaku wanted to do within the interior, but kill his father and try to explain it. Yeah. Explain it. Oh, it was for a good sake for Japan. It's really stupid true, and he has no argument. Yeah, he literally has no argument. That's like the main thing. And he's done wrong. That's the thing. Like Suzaku has done wrong with what he's done with his character and thinking he can. It was crazy that he would think at a young age this could stop the war, and he decided to do that with his. I don't want to spoil too much for people that haven't watched it, so I don't want to get too much into the actual meat of the stories of what's going on with each character. But the Suzaku as a character in general was one of the issues I had with the show, and he was annoying until towards the end because he finally kind of got on the same page with Lelouch. But that's because Lelouch kind of did some stuff to kind of do some switcheroo, actually, which was kind of funny. Like I said, the way they kind of structured some of that was pretty cool. But there's another section of this, and especially in part 2 of like R2 of Lelouch of Code Geass. I mean, uh, his father, his whole plan, his whole thing, it was kind of nonsensical. I have to admit, and not to mention he just did not give a crap about the actual plane of existence that he was currently on, which was kind of ridiculous. But because like what he was trying to do was directly impact that plane of existence. The best way I can explain it for people that can kind of understand what I'm getting at, Naruto, the Moon's Eye plan. If you remember what the Moon's Eye plan was all about, that's pretty much what the father was trying to do in the best way I can explain it, right? So it was just kind of a weird, nonsensical plan, and his main, like, the way his argument was not good ultimately because of what he did to Lelouch. It's like, of course, Lelouch is not going to go along with your... It's kind of stupid. I mean, like, I'm not going to lie. What I kind of see is that there are 2 literal high school boys being thrown into a huge political plot and having their morals be shaken, and how they become... I mean, that's the thing, though. It's like, I understand they're like, 17-year-old suckers and stuff like that. They're young boys at the end of the day, right? But they're playing in a big game. This is a world effect. This is not about like with Death Note, I can still see it in a way where it more or less affected Japan, and this thing could have like exploded out into something else entirely, obviously. And so that thing got nipped in the bud before it got too crazy. In Code Geass, this was affecting the entire world. China was involved. Like all the literal other regions. The superpowers are all involved in this anime. So it's like, at one point, you can't have that type of like mentality thinking that they're just children. They out here literally playing chess with the world, like the actual living world in that show. So it's a little different. Could be reading too much into it. Yeah, things aren't black and white. There's a huge gray area. 100%. Oh, it is. Table. Oh my God, don't talk about the table. Don't talk about the table, all right? I forgot about them for a while when watching. God dang it. I've actually been told by people to skip season 2. What? Wait, that's weird. Why would you skip season 2? That's like the ending of the show, and the way the show ends is good. Granted, rewatching the show and understanding everything a bit more about it, it's funny because I see how things turned out to why we have other seasons. I see why we have other seasons now. I don't know why anybody thought what they thought that the ending was. Like, you know what I mean? It's quite interesting. I'm not gonna say what exactly, but it's quite interesting what everybody thought. Everybody collectively thought this. But it's like, if you really watch the show, of course there should be more seasons. That's what's so weird about it. I think a lot of people praise Code Geass for things it does well, and understandably so. But I also think because they're probably a lot of people's first anime. That's what I'm saying, right? More intellectual anime, right? Yeah. That's what I'm saying about it. I feel like Code Geass has the benefit of nostalgia on it that allows it to be as good as it is. I've rewatched Death Note multiple times, and I still will say that show is freaking great. The show is still great even to this day. Even with the second half of it with freaking not Rolo. I'm still thinking about Code Geass. Freaking Nier and Mello, I mean. With Nier and Mello, I still even enjoyed those aspects of it. You know what I mean? Because I get what they were trying to go for with it. And it made sense ultimately why Light lost that whole battle at the end of the day. He was playing at a handicap at that point in time because he already had too much information. You know what I mean? So it's not like L didn't know he was Kira. He just needed definitive proof that he was. So with 2 heads, that's better than 1, and they can do more actions. Obviously, he's gonna get caught at some point. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I enjoyed the second part of Death Note more than other people do. I have to say that much. And I just feel like Code Geass is one of those shows that has a benefit of nostalgia on it. And I do implore everyone that sees this video to rewatch Code Geass and then come back here and comment and talk about it a little bit, because I think you'll start to see what I'm talking about. This show is good. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of good for this series that the show has, because it deals with a lot of different subjects. And some of the subjects they do a pretty good job on, some other subjects not so much. But regardless, it's still a good, solid series. So I'm a completionist, so I would have to watch the whole thing. Okay, well, I mean, I wouldn't skip it. My motto is, if I'm watching anime and I'm already like 10 episodes in, I might as well finish it. I'm like, that's with me with freaking One Piece. I started watching it. Now I can't stop watching it because like it keeps going. You know what I mean? I'm just one of those guys that will keep watching the show because like why not? Hot takes. Second part of Death Note isn't even that bad. See, I like that hot take only simply because like I agree with that. I don't know why everybody keeps saying it's that bad. Like they say it's terrible. They say the second part is terrible, and I'm like, it's not that bad. It is literally not that bad. You just don't. People just didn't like the jarring aspects of L dying so fast, and then we moved on with this other section. All of a sudden, people didn't process L's death is a thing, so they immediately rejected Near and Mellow with vengeance because they thought they were just copying L at that point, and it's like that's not the same. That's not what's going on here. I feel like that's part of what the issue is. So the other part is I could see people just not liking it because there are certain elements of the cat and mouse that's not there with Light and L, obviously, because that's a whole personal type of back and forth happening where this is like it's everything. There's a Yotsuba group happening. You know what I mean? There's another freaking Kira in the scene. Like there's so many other things happening within the series at that point that we're not doing a personal cat and mouse anymore. So the dynamic of the show even changes. So I understand maybe not liking that change of dynamic, but it still doesn't really take away the fact that it's still not bad. I enjoyed it, and the things they came up with was actually quite interesting, all things considered. I have to admit that. I took a pause for One Piece. For One Piece. Couldn't quit One Piece if I wanted to. I'm addicted to it. I mean, I am too, Avatar. I'm kind of like sad right now because One Piece is on break right now, so I can't even read it. Second part of Death Note is not bad. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. But let's move on to the Tsudere topic because there was something I wanted to showcase real quick because I didn't realize there's so many different oops, that's the wrong thing. Oops. Okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? Hold on a minute. I'm out here revealing so much information right now. Let's bring that back. Let's run that back. Y'all didn't see that. I'm out here closing stuff. I'm out here closing things. All right. Mike, reopen, close tab, close this. Thank you. All right. God dang. All right. I'm trying to bring this up. There's 12 dairy types, and we're gonna go through all of them real quick. So let's look at this right here, right? So we have this Tsudere, if that's how you say it, or Gaudere, but it's boisterous and loving. That's pretty much what this is. So they got a big personality, and they just out here loving you. All right, and it's a rare type. You don't see this dairy very often, apparently. I didn't even know about this dairy. Honestly, we need more dairies like this. We have this for Albedo, actually an Overlord. Overlord. I keep saying Overload. Overlord, which I actually know that character, so that makes sense. That makes sense. I haven't watched the Magical Index, and I haven't watched The Disastrous Life of Saki K. But this type right here, we can bring this back. Why is Tsudere always gotta be the one? Right? Speaking of Tsunderes, boom, Tsunderes. You got that cold, loving bull crap. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of these characters. I'm tired of this. These characters right here, it gotta stop. All right? Let me move my camera a little bit so I'm in better frame here. But I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this goddamn character, all right? Man, I wasn't ready. I messed up. All right? I messed up. But yes, we have Rin from Fate Stay Night, which is, like I said, she's not a bad character, but I didn't like this whole back and forth thing. I couldn't even tell that she even liked him like that, to be honest with you. If I'm being honest, I couldn't even tell that she was like that. Yeah, and Asuka is also like that from Neon Genesis Evangelion. It's like, I don't like Asuka. Asuka is an annoying character. I hated that character. Yes. For Neon Genesis Evangelion, look, I ain't like her. I ain't really like Rin like that. I ain't watched Lucky Star, but I'm pretty sure Kagami, trash, all right? with a Kyo. I mean, Kyo is not bad. Right? I'll give him a bit of a pass, but he's still not the best character. Granted, that's not true. He actually has a pretty good backstory. See, that's the thing. He might be my exception. Now I'm thinking about it. Keon, he's a good character actually, because the way his backstory was and how everything went, it makes sense why he's actually a Tsudere character. He actually makes sense why he's there. He's not just there for the trope. It's not just the trope that's there. You know what I'm saying? There's more meat to him than the trope itself. So a lot of the time we have Tsudere characters, they're nothing but that trope. They don't have no other meat. There's no meat on the bone. Crap's annoying as heck. So that's why, honestly, he's actually not bad. He's actually not bad. Oscar was annoying. Thank you. I read the manga, and he was the best character. Yeah, okay, look, Kyo was not bad. I had to take it back real quick, because I remembered there's a lot going on. But again, there's a reason why he's a hot and cold character. And that's one of the things I want to make an argument with this particular hot take that I'm doing here. If you're going to use a trope, make sure you actually have a actual personality behind said trope. Don't just put the trope on the character, because that's what happens all the time. We do this and we have these tropes on them, and it's just like, that's just them. Now we're good. We don't need to do any more. And they do this all the time with a lot of these characters. And again, Tsudere is one of the main ones that they do this with. There's so many characters. There's so many Tsudere characters in anime. It's ridiculous, actually. There is barely any Goderes. You never see any of them. Well, where are they at? Where are they at? You know, didn't know what's weird. I love me a good Tsudere emphasis on good, but I can really despise those super happy-go-lucky characters. What? And he said, I don't like them happy suckers. You don't like. Where is it at? I think it's the next one, isn't it? Oh, it's Yandere. You don't like Dere characters. You don't like the ones that are just like super loving. They love you. They have nothing but good intentions for you. You know what I'm saying? You don't like that. You're telling me you don't like freaking. I can't believe I'm about to say this. Like, but do you watch My Hero? Because like, hold on a minute. Show should have a purpose besides being a trope. Thank you. And that's what I'm trying to say. Because a lot of the times, it depends. Sometimes you can just have a trope on a character, but they have to be like a side character, not someone that's a vocal point. So sometimes they'll just have the character have that trope and it just be there for them. But like then we have Yandere's. Yandere's another one that is overused. There's another overused one that I don't really care for that much. But surprisingly enough, I like a Yandere more than a Tsudere. Yup. I said Tsunderes are trash. I don't like Yandere's like that either. But you know what? I'll take them over that. Like, you know, she was a character. I don't know if I can't say I like her. It's a thing like that. Honestly, that show is kind of bad. They got you know over here. She's like Yuki all the goddamn time, just all over him. You know what I'm saying? All over him. But I did watch Glafnir, and Glafnir has like the same effect. Glafnir has the same thing going on with it. And I actually like that show. I think I tolerate Yandere's more than I do Tsudere. Surprisingly enough, yeah. I don't know. From what I've seen. Look, you perfect. I'm so glad you're in here, Anna. Kaede from Shuffle. It's a goddamn Yandere. What? But you remember her? Come on. Did you not like her character? Oh, Yandere's are amazing. Oh, see, there it is. Okay, there it is. See, there we go. Yandere is overused. Yeah, it's this one and Tsudere. Tsunderes and Yanderes are always overused in anime all the time. Speaking of happy characters in Fruits Basket, Toru falls into that category, but she also has a backstory that supports the way she is. See, that's the thing. Fruits Basket is a good show because it uses tropes, but utilizes them and actually does something with. There's a reason for where their characters are the way they are. You know what I mean? That's when you have really good writing for a character. That's when you have just good writing in general. You make this stuff, you make the tropes make sense. Don't just throw them in there. There's so many shows that do this all the time where they just kind of give you bits and pieces like, oh, this guy's a perv character. So he's nothing but a perv a lot of the times. And it's like, that character's boring as heck. Freaking, what's his name? Nanatsu no Taizai, Seven Deadly Sins. Why am I not remembering his goddamn name? Because he's a big perv. He's the main character. Like, I don't like him. Why am I not remembering his name right now? What the heck? I just know I don't like that character. I don't like his backstory. I don't like nothing about that character at this point because he's bad. He's bad. Let's show the fruit back in manga fondly. Yes, look at it. Hey, fondle it. Cuddle with it, right? Love me a good Yandere. There we go, Avatar. Meliodas, thank you. Thank you, Avatar. Meliodas. I don't like Meliodas. That's why I keep saying Bond is such a better character. Bond is such a better. He should have been the main character. Bond should have been the main character. Diane should have been the main character. God dang, like I like everyone else on the Seven Deadly Sins. All of them are better than what Meliodas actually brings to the table. He's a very annoying character, and everything he does with Elizabeth is just like I'm tired of it. Oh my god. And Fruits Basket, Manny, the Fruits Basket manga is amazing. I need to actually read it. I need to read it. Guy needed some serious therapy. I mean, look, but there was a reason for it. But then we have Dendere. See? Deres. These are the loving, nothing but loving. Nothing but loving. All right? But you saying you're not gonna love this girl? This girl's great. This girl's great. You see her face? She's freaking great. She's a great character. Well, she was a great character until she wasn't. The creator is dropping the biggest of balls. I shouldn't have said it like that. I don't know why I said it like that. But they're dropping the ball on her character. They're dropping the ball on her character so hard, and it makes me mad because in season like 1 and 2, like she had more of a purpose. She's the most relatable character. She's just trying to be a hero so she can provide for her family. Like, bro, I understand. I feel that, you know. But she out here still trying to be the best hero that she can possibly be, and then she also had this crush, you know, on Deku, but. Now she kind of divulging just to a character of just loving Deku. Like she has no other personality outside of just worrying about Deku. And it's sad to see because she wasn't like that initially. And I wish her character can revert back. That's all I'm saying. Oh, interesting. Iru? Wait, from here? What? Really? I did not know that. I don't know the other two characters, but we're gonna move on to Dandares, which is the silent loving type. We have the Hinatas of the group, you know. Round of applause to all the Hinatas out here on the goddamn streets, you know what I'm saying? Why is my dog barking out there? Sorry. Well, I mean, wait, how far back are you? This is not that, this is, you should have seen this. Hold on. How far back are you on My Hero? Because now you got me wondering, because like, that, I was talking back in season 1 and 2. We're in season 6. Sure, your coach, you did nothing with Raka. Exactly. Like, yeah, it's like Deku. Like, I don't know what happened. Like I said, it's a shame. If I did spoil you though, so I apologize, Anna. But this is one of those things maybe you should actually know about if you wanted to know how you like if you want to know what her character's even going on, like what's going on with her character. Not to say she got some stuff going on. I'll say that much. There was actually something in the My Hero section I should have talked about, but I didn't. I forgot about it. Because she actually did something this week's episode. I totally forgot. God dang it. Okay, then you're good then. But you've seen season 5 and before that. So what I was saying about Uraka's character, that happened way before then. Like her character is not really... You should have seen this. Oh, these characters can have done wrong too. I've seen many a times, really. Oh, stutter and shine. That's their only character trait, which is true. I've seen a lot of that too, which is unfortunate. There are some that can do a bit better. Like I think actually, funny enough, Hinata's a good example of this, of a good Dandere character. I have to admit that. Yeah, she actually does something. Okay, what the heck is this? A Himadere, a Ojidere. What? Oh, princess? Oh, okay. A prince or a princess, and then they're also just loving. I don't know if I would. I mean, she is that's weird. Okay, so I watched Black Clover, so I mean, I know about her character, but it's like, I mean, I don't know. She's more of a tsundere type. I felt like. I mean, I know she has like a complex, right? She does have a complex because you know she is royalty. She says it literally all the goddamn time, but the way she like. Cause she likes Asta, so she has that whole I'm cold, but actually I really like what you got going on there. I want to feel the muscles, you know what I'm saying? Like she has that whole thing going. But I guess that's weird. I guess is tsundere and this kind of the same thing basically? Is that like the same thing? Yeah, Tamaki from Oron. Actually, that's 100% yes. But he also has a reason though. There's a reason for that though. Like, I've watched Oron Host Club, and Oron Host Club is like a 9 out of 10 show, by the way. I want to throw that out there. Oron Host Club's an amazing show. I'm glad not rewatched it. I'm glad I watched it because of the anime club. Because otherwise, I wouldn't have watched that show. That was not me. Well, it was annoying in Black Clover. I don't want to hear. Fortunate. Look, I get you though. She can be quite annoying of a character. I'm not even gonna lie. Like the way she is. Speaking of the Lelouch Lamfrouge, Lelouch is an OG Dere. I mean, Again, what do they mean by this? Let me are two sides of the same coin. Human refers to Japanese word for princess. And these characters don't have to be actual princess or princess to be tend to have like royalty. But again, they seem more like Tsudere type characters if that's the case. Though the Lucius, that is weird. I mean, I guess the manga is 100 out of 10. So you're telling me I should read the manga then? Okay, I should read the manga then. All right. Yeah, so let's read it too. Like Tamaki. Just for on Deku, Bakugo, and Todoroki. It's annoying. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's the monster trio. It's the monster trio. They get like all he does is focus on them the entire time. It's weird given what we even got going on with season 6, but I ain't gonna say much more because I don't want to spoil nothing, all right? It's like I don't know. Like it's a Bakadere. Oh wait, what? A stupid sucker? I mean, Baka is dumb. I mean. Okay, I mean, interesting. If you read the oral manga, if I have some time, I'll try to see if I can read it then. All right, look, maybe I can do that. Maybe I can do it on stream or something. Who knows? Who knows? A Bakadere is a rare archetype that refers to a character that is a clumsy and often thinks, oh, okay, they're clumsy. Okay, they're not necessarily just dumb. They're just clumsy like that. Okay, all right. Look, that works. That works. All right. Oh, yeah. Mako Monkancho, it actually is exactly that. She fits this Bakadere perfectly, actually. She's exactly like that. She's a very loving character, though. She's a good character. I haven't watched Little Witch Academia or The Demon Girl Next Door. I haven't watched those, but interesting. I don't really see this archetype that much. I don't really see this as much. Yeah, it says a rare archetype, so I rarely see this one. We need to use this more often. Why don't we use this more often? I feel like in Western media, which is funny about this, we have too many characters that are like always clumsy and or just actually dumb within our like cartoons or even with our anime. They always have these type of characters like that. Now I'm thinking about it. Would Sokka fit into this category? Because he's clumsy, but he's also a very loving guy. Like look what the stuff he does with Suki. You know what I'm saying? So it's for Taru, which is. But she is an idiot. God dang it. Of like this dumb for background side characters. Maybe. I think that's what it is, right? It's not really, they don't really have main character. Like even with Mako being there, Mako's a side character. She's not the main character. So that makes sense. Kimidere. Wait, guide and love it. Oh, what? Okay, wait. Well, all right. What is this list talking about? Light is not a loving guy. I mean, he cares about specific people. But you're going to sit here and tell me that he loved Misa? I highly doubt that, all right? I don't know about this one. I mean, the God complex is there. But I don't know about that loving part, that dairy part. I don't know about that one. There are also those who have God complexes with kami, referring to the Japanese word for God. Like most dairy types, Kamidare characters aren't restricted to a specific gender, but there are a couple of types of Kamidare characters. Well, one trait all Kamidare characters share is pride in themselves and their godlike talents, something that manifests in them thinking they are a deity or superior being, which is 100% true. I get that. I mean, okay, with Dio Brando, he loves himself. This man loves himself. So he's very loving in the sense that he loves himself 100%. And yeah, he thinks he is the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like he thinks that. Gilgamesh is also another one. That's those are good ones. That's funny though. Interesting. I didn't know I can actually put that on him. He loves death. I don't know if he loves death necessarily. I don't know about that. But he does love him. He does kind of love himself though too. Like Light does like himself, you know. But I don't know. It's weird. Interesting. I think Sokka would sort of fit. Okay, that's what I thought. Oh, I think Lelouch should be in this category instead. I think so too. Because he does have but he has more of because he is a prince though, right? So he is of royalty. That's why I think they put him into that category in the first. Well, I think they put him over there, right? Yeah, I think they put him in that category in the first place because of that. A Tsudere. I heard of this. A Tsudere is cool and loving. Interesting. Tsuderes are quite like dendares, but not from a sense of shyness. Rather, Tsudere characters are cool and cynical. Oh, okay. Interesting. Wait, so would that mean like Itachi would fit into this category then? In English written, Roman Tsudere really show a caring side even to their love. Oh wait, really? Oh, they don't show their love interest to the person. outwardly they act as if they don't care about what happens to those around them, but they secretly do care, especially when it involves their love. Well, see, already this sounds like this is a character I don't like. This is the type of character trait I don't like. Rei Nami, interestingly enough, I don't know if she fits into that category. I mean, she's a. If you haven't seen the show, like, I'll just say this much: she's not really like a full-on human. So there's a reason why she's like cold. Yeah, I don't know if she fits in this category at all. I don't really see much of Tsuderes like that though. There's not a lot of Tsuderes. This is another one that should be happening. Tsuderes are trash. Look at this. Sadistic. Oh. Tsudere characters love to manipulate others in cruel ways. We can just throw this one in the trash. We can just throw this one in the trash then. So Mikasa. Oh, Mikasa would fit into that. Yeah. Mikasa would fit into that category perfectly, actually. Yeah. Because there's a lot of love there, but she never actually shows that love. Granted, no, there are a few moments. No, there's a few moments even with her that she actually kind of showcases that, like, other side. Because it does happen with Eren. Eren just doesn't want to see it. Eren don't care. Eren's like, woman. Kyoko from Danganronpa. Oh, true. Dio loves himself a little too much. Yeah, you're absolutely right about that one. Solely Haruhi. I haven't watched Haruhi Suzumiya yet. I need to watch that show. But I think she might fit into that category more or less. Oh my God. We're in a girlfriend, freaking mommy, not a me. Wait, what? Okay, wait, what do you, wait, okay, explain. I actually gotta read this. Okay, wait a second. Wait, what's going on here? They get pleasure from putting their love interest in tough situations that cause their pain. I don't know. Mommy isn't necessarily. I don't know if I can agree with that. Now, Toga 100%. This is Toga's trait. This is 100% Toga's trait. That is Toga. That's the trait. Like, she has that trope all over her. That is Toga. If you know her character, that's exactly her. I don't think Mommy fits in that category because she doesn't quite get pleasure out of just making things super difficult. She doesn't like the fact that her ex is playing girlfriend, boyfriend with this chick basically, and she's like, this whole thing's got to stop. She still wants to kind of be with the guy is the whole thing. So she's trying to sabotage the entire situation more so than her making situations happen. So she's just having fun with it. I don't think that's solely the case with Mommy. That's the thing. I don't think I agree with that one. Tsudere. Sadness. Oh, God. Why you gotta put Watamote up in here? You gotta have her up in here. This character trait, this thing actually, this is one of those character traits that don't need to come by. All right? I have to say that much. I don't like her character. Sorry. Unfortunately, I can't defend her. As much as I like Attack on Titan, like I said, Attack on Titan's not perfect. Mikasa's character in general, welcome back in, Bam Bam. How are we doing? What's up? What? What's going on, buddy? What's going on? They want to see you. The people want to see you, man. The people want to see. Bam Bam. Sucker leaves again. All right. I don't know why he's doing this. But this character trait, I don't know if I want to see much of this because this, like, with Watamote, like, that show is hard to watch. I'm surprised I watched that show. But God, the stuff that was going on in there. Oh my God. Interesting. Megumi from Fruits Basket, and then Mei Mikasa from another. Interesting. So what are they saying? Common portray to be sad or melancholy? I mean, I guess, yeah, I guess Misaki would actually fit that category pretty well. Yeah. Melancholy and sadness. He's a reason to be sad. Yeah, there's always kind of gloomy. I've seen this trait quite. This Tsudere actually happens quite often. I don't really particularly hate this one. It's not one I dislike like that, but it's not my most favorite. Bambino, what is it, sir? Why you keep coming in here? What, sir? Wait, Bam Bam. Doggies. I'm just look. He's coming. What? What is it, man? What? Wait, what is it? What you trying to say? Talk to me, Bam Bam. Talk to me. Talk to me. Talk to me. What you saying? What you saying? What? What? I don't know what he's doing. He's throwing me off right now. This whole stream is kind of weird, all right? We have an appearance from a dog, our resident Bambino. He's over here just constantly trying to say something to me. I don't know what it is. I'm going to go figure it out, though, all right? If it's like 1/3, maybe I'll keep checking in on your scenes. All right, he just wants to see what's going on, apparently. And so, yeah, and you want a hug? Oh, my God. I'm trying to show him off. He doesn't want to be on camera. He doesn't want to be on camera. I keep trying to grab him, but he keeps running away. He's saying something to me. I don't know what it is. God. With the last one is oh my God. Okay, wait a minute. This might be the only other one I probably don't like. I hate the tease characters. All right, I hate the tease characters. I don't really know about these characters like that, but It's more unheard of archetype, but that may be due to the fact that they overlap with other dairy types like Tsudere. Exactly, because Tsudere they're always teasing. So this is why this particular Tsudere, the tease dere. This is why it doesn't happen that much, because it overlaps to Tsudere. That's why I don't like it, because it overlaps with Tsudere. See, this is why Tsudere is trash. I proved my point. I did a stream for an hour and 45 minutes. I proved my point that Tsunderes are 100% trash, and you shouldn't like them. I rest my case. This thing had another goddamn dare, and it bleeds in, and it's not even good. It's not even good. God dang. With that said, those are all the dares apparently with what we got here when it comes to goddamn bullcrap. But what do you guys think? In the comment section below, tell me what you guys enjoyed when it comes to the dare types. What's your favorite dare type? Like, I gotta ask, what is your favorite dare type? Mine, more or less, probably is the dare type. Ones that are just straightforward, they're loving, you understand their emotions, there ain't no games involved. That's the dare I like, all right? I like ones that tell me what's up. I don't like fakeness. Now you know. And if you don't know, now you know, okay? And when it comes to Code Geass, the show is nowhere near as good as they think it is. It is a show that is purely run off of goddamn nostalgia. I implore everyone to watch Code Geass just to see what I'm talking about, because you'll start to realize after all the anime you watch, going back to that is not as good as you think it is. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug, all right? No cap. No cap. You see a cap on me, Andy? No cap, all right? What are you going to say about Mikasa's character you were not finished? Oh, yeah. Like I said, I don't think Attack on Titan's perfect. Mikasa's character is one of the things that, in general, is actually a problem with the show. Like, I don't want to get too heavy in it, but there's like certain elements to her character that got shoehorned in actually later on in the series, which is surprising. I didn't know he was gonna mess up like that, but he messed up. Because even in the manga, it's not known about this particular fact about her until much later in the show, into the series. And the anime, the adaptation, actually did a worse job of making sure that information was even there. That's the crazy thing about it. So there's a certain part of her lineage and stuff like that when it comes to her character that was not done at all well from the anime to the manga. Both didn't do well with that. So her character actually just has a weak point in general. Like, Armin has better characterization than her, and it sucks to say that. She's actually a weak point in the series. I'm just saying. I love me a good Tsudere. Look, get that Tsudere crap out of my face, all right? No, you see a good Yanderes, because Yanderes can work, all right? Just stab me one time, but then kiss me later. Right? No. We got a lot of potential in the beginning, but never lives up to it, unfortunately, which is true. There's a lot of potential that she had with her character and what we could have done. And if we actually just stayed focused and actually build upon what we already had or what he was trying to do, you should have put more emphasis on it. I don't know why they didn't do it. It's so weird how little of attention that he decided to give Mikasa's character, especially considering how things are starting to turn out. I have a theory. I don't know what the ending is for Attack on Titan, but I have a theory of where I think we're going with this ending. And I see maybe why people had a problem with it, but I don't think it's that bad like people are saying it was. But it's only a theory. I don't know what actually happens. I can't say much more off of that because I don't want to even like say my theory because I could be right. But this is just based off of everything I've seen, and especially from like the ending and the opening song from the last season. It gave me a clue of what I think might be going on. But yeah, the Masochist Master. Look, no, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. All right. Or to watch Toradora, then Mike change your mind on Tsundere's. So yeah, I know that's the GOAT when it comes to Tsudere love and all that crap. I don't know if Toradora is gonna be good enough to make that happen. But you know what? I'll take that challenge. I take that challenge. And Andy, I challenge you to buy some goddamn merch. The next time I see you, Andy, I want to hear you buy some merch. It's time. And when you see me again, I'll watch the first episode of Toradora at least. At least. Let's go. Oh, we're all a bit messy. That's a kiss. Andy, what are you talking about? Wait, huh? You want to learn the 18 ways of Spanx, but let me not get into this. Even side characters like yeah, more characterization. Facts, Avatar. Facts. 100%. 100%. And again, that's crazy to say. That's crazy to say. Even Connie has more character. If I'm being honest, even Connie has more character development, and that's saying something. That's saying something. All right. We're about to leave. We're about to get out of here. We're about to get out of here. It's a deal. All right. Handshake deal. There we go. We did this. We did this, guys. So for the ones that are watching this as an actual video, if you actually stuck through this entire video, which is surprising, this is almost 2 hours, I appreciate you. You guys actually really rock with me. I'm glad you guys watched this. I'm glad you guys are enjoying this. But for the ones that do watch this, even for the ones even here right now that are here live, the secret word, I'm going to put onto you guys is notebook. I want you to guys write notebook in the comment section of this video if you watched the entire thing, so I know that you watched it and that you rocked with me 100% of the way. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you. It's just fun just us here. Oh my God, with realistic bruising. Oh, Eddie. All right, look, this is not a Twitch stream. This is a YouTube stream. All right. Thing is not perfect, but a little overheated. Overhated in my opinion. See, I can agree with that. So you've seen the ending of it. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't know what the ending's all about. But I suspect it was a bit overhated. I feel like that's what it is. We'll see you later, Fortunate. Thank you guys for dropping by. I will be back on Monday to do some more streaming onto the Twitch channel on my Twitch channel, and then also we'll be back here more or less on Wednesday because I think we still have one more week of Chainsaw Man Day not being a day for us to stream. So we'll be back here Wednesday on the YouTube channel talking more about the anime and actually wrapping up a lot of the shows that are going to be ending here actually. So this is going to be weird. The show's about to end, guys. The show's about to end. All right. Make sure you're drinking goddamn water. Take your goddamn vitamins. I'm going to write a lengthy essay in the comments defending Tsudere. All right. Bet. And I'll reply and give you a even longer, lengthier statement on why you're wrong. All right? I appreciate you, Anna. Appreciate you, Fortunate. Appreciate you, Avatar. You know, the only Avatar that we know. Appreciate you, even though I'm fighting right now with you, Andy. Appreciate you. Appreciate everybody that came through. Thump, Max, all y'all. Appreciate y'all. All right, guys. I'm getting out of here. Break out.